some days you're up and other days you're down. Always tip the dealers and when your waitress comes around, cause sometimes you punt and other times you're round. And you might get cooler to flop the nuts when you sit down. The outcome of the hand don't mean that you made it, cause life's not about the result but more on how you played it. Hitting 8s, 9s, and 10s and all the painted faces. Every day you play is a win, even if you're mucking aces.
Hey YouTube, welcome back to the Mucking Aces Poker Channel. This is episode 7. Great news for me, Bay 101 in San Jose, California is open back up for poker. Bad news for the other players, hopefully. Let's head on over there. We're going to buy into the 2-3-5 game. Most likely here for the max buy-in, which is $500. So we look forward to it. Wish us luck.
And when I arrive, the staff kindly informs me that only 3 people are allowed to sit at the table at once. So due to social distancing guidelines, you can see that my chair is pulled back away from the actual table. When you're not in a hand, you must step away from the table. Very odd here, and in my first hand, I walk up to 10-7 offsuit. And I am in the big blind. And I elect to just check my blind here. So we end up going 3 ways to the flop once I check it after a couple make the call. And those are going to be the player across from me here in middle position and the small blind. So the flop comes out 10-7 queen rainbow. I look to bump it up here and I make it 50 in the pot. I get the middle position player to make the call and the small blind folds. The turn comes a 9 of clubs, bringing out those straight draws here while I have 2 pair, and I elect to check for the deception as I expect him to make a bet if he does have one of those straight draws there. Once the river comes a 3 of spades, I elect to go ahead and keep firing, and the middle position player decides to let this one go. It's nice to take down this pot, and in the next playable hand, we pick up ace-king offsuit on the button, and we are excited to see this premium hand. The player across from me elects to limp, and the cutoff player elects to limp as well. I go ahead and throw out a bet of $15 to bump it up, and we get 2 callers. The player across from me from the previous hand makes the call, and so does the cutoff player, and we see a flop. That flop comes out queen, jack, 4 with 2 spades. So once I see this flop, I have the straight draw. I am going to elect to bump it up here after it gets checked to me. I decide to throw out a bet of $50, and the players both take a little bit of time and end up making the fold. So definitely good to take down a couple pots here early and looking to keep running it up here in this 2-3-5 game that is definitely a whole lot different. Having to stand up and walk to and from the table, I walk up here and pick up pocket 9s in middle position, and I elect to 3-bet this one here with my middling pocket pair. So I am going to bump it up to make it $95 in once there's a player to my right who elects to make it 15. With this bet, everyone elects to fold as they put me on a premium hand. While they think about that, I'm going to have you head on over and hit that like button. Please throw a subscribe if you have not yet, and definitely keep an eye out for more videos here as we look to get into the next one. And that comes in the form of Jack 10 suited. We pick up Jack 10 with 2 spades in middle position, and I go ahead and lead for $15, and I have a few people fold around back to the cutoff who elects to make the call, and we see a flop. That flop comes out Jack of clubs, 6 of clubs, 4 of diamonds. With top pair here, I am going to lead out for another $15 and see if we can get that player to come along. He elects to make the call, and a 8 of spades comes on the turn. With this card coming a brick in my mind, I am going to lead out here again, looking to size up. I make it 135 in the pot, and the player in the cutoff actually elects to make the fold. So we take down another one here, and we are running pretty well here. And we look to keep that run good going when we pick up pocket 7s here in the big blind, and the player in middle position, who is a new player, just sat down with about $100, did lose the pot previously, goes and shoves all in for his last $75 that he has behind. So with this, it folds back around to me, and I make the call with my pair of 7s. I'm looking to just ride that wave of variance. We elect to make that call, and I think it's the only thing that I can do here for the player's last $75. Well, that run good continues to come our way as the flop comes out 7 ace king. There's 2 spades on the board, and the turn comes a queen of clubs, and on the river comes a jack. He actually has ace jack, but his 2 pair is going to be no good against our set of 7s. And after fading what seemed like every card in the deck, I go ahead and open up here in middle position with queen 10 of diamonds. I make it 15 to go, and with 25 in the pot, we have 2 callers after the player who just went all in buys in again for about 125, which is now the effective stack. We see a flop of queen 8-5, and I elect to check this one for a bit of deception, which I am thinking here in retrospect I should have let out. But when the turn comes a king of diamonds, I'm going to continue and throw out another bet here, and I get one player to make the call. When the river comes, and it comes in the form of a jack of diamonds, I make my flush, and I think that I'm not going to get any more value, so I actually just go ahead and bet, and the player in the small blind elects to fold. After being card dead for a little while and losing a few small pots, I elect to open up here with ace 8 offsuit under the gun. I bump it up to $10, and the hijack and the cutoff elect to make the call. with this hand, I am looking to hopefully hit a flop here, and once I do see an 8, a 6, and a 3 come out with 2 clubs, I elect to check for deception with my top pair, and it being a fairly middling pair with an ace kicker, I elect to make a call once the cutoff throws out a bet of $5. Once a 4 comes on the turn, I'm going to check again. I think here this might be a little bit too nitty, but I elect to make the call with 15. Once a jack comes on the river, I'm going to go ahead and check, and the players just check around. I show my 8, and it actually ends up being good, as the player in the cutoff shows pocket fives. So definitely good to take that one down as well. And in the last hand of the evening, I pick up ace 10 offsuit in the under the gun position, and the players elect to fold until it gets to the hijack, who elects to make the call, and the cutoff player does as well. When the flop comes out here, it's gonna be top pair for me with a 10 of spades, a 2 of clubs, and a 3 of spades. I'm gonna try and get some more money in the pot, so I lead out. Unfortunately, they all make the fold, and I decide to call it a night here. With having to stand up, sit down, stand back up, move away from the table, it was a little tough to get in the groove, so definitely look to get back into things here on another day. I appreciate everyone sticking around and watching today's episode.
Hey YouTube, that's it for episode 7. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please drop a like on the video if you enjoyed the content. We got in for the game over at Bay 101 Casino for $500, and we were out for exactly $700. So definitely a good little session. Didn't stay too long with all the up-down calisthenics. Had to do those prison burpees the whole time, standing up, sitting back down. It was pretty wild, and definitely a whole lot different, but I guess that's the way of the world for right now until everything clears up with everything that's going on. So definitely look forward to getting back into it in the next one. We'll see you then.